Hi everyone, welcome back to the next diecast. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to repair chrome fade and chrome damage on diecast model cars. Now, a lot of model cars come with some level of chrome on them, whether it be their wheels, their paint, or various trim pieces and other parts, such as headlights and bumpers and other stuff like that. And over time, of course, you will see the chrome begin to fade on models, especially if they're older or if perhaps, they were played with at one time or another. Storing them long term can also lead to that. And the degradation of chrome really is kind of a long process. It won't happen, within a year or even like 2 years. It'll happen kind of gradually over time. And for years, I kind of had that issue with a few of my older models that I did play with as a kid, which these are 4 examples of those right here. We got 2 Matchbox cars, a Matchbox Ford Focus, and a Lexus GS 430. Then we have a Maisto 2002 Ford Thunderbird in 1/25th scale, and then a Maisto 2004 Mini Cooper in 1/18th scale. So I found a good method to repair the chrome fade on these cars, and that's with these liquid chrome paint markers. I got these from Amazon. They were $11 for me. I think they might be $12 or $13 now. But you do get a pack of 3. And they're really good for all sorts of uses, as you'll see by the pictures back here. And model cars is one use. You can write with them and everything. And in this set, you get one kind of fatter tip, one kind of medium-sized tip, and one extra fine tip. And these all work very good, depending on how much chrome you're trying to touch up and just how much chrome you're, working with in general. So the 2 cars in the front here, the wheels were almost completely faded off. This one I've had for years and years now. Same thing with the Lexus here. And the wheels were just almost completely rubbed off, completely black. I used the chrome markers, and look, they look almost brand new. I was really shocked at just how good these chrome markers actually were. Of course, there is some rough areas on that front wheel there, but that was the first time I actually used these markers. And I mean, look at that. I was kind of skeptical, like, oh, it might look kind of like a matte silver like you see for these Thunderbird rims here. And for a while, I was using just silver Sharpies to kind of mask, chrome damage. But now that I found these, I'm never going to go back to that, like, for sure. So really all you need to do for, fixing these cars with chrome markers is to, I would say, remove all the old chrome if possible. And if you can't, like, no big deal, especially if you're working with a very small kind of area like this. And then I would use maybe like a smaller tip for the wheels like these. I use the medium-sized tip just to kind of cover some more area in like one go. And then I kind of turned the car on its side. And then of course, I held the wheel kind of with one hand. And then instead of my phone, I would have the marker and I'd be kind of just filling in that wheel right there. And I did the same thing for this Lexus. Now, if you're doing chrome wheels on smaller scale cars like Matchbox or Hot Wheels, you might have some issues with like kind of thinner spoke wheels like these, but anything will look better than just completely faded off chrome. I mean, look at this one. This one looks brand new now. I've had this one for over 15 years now at this point, so that's just really cool. Now, this Thunderbird here had severe chrome, just fade chrome damage. The whole entire windshield had pretty much turned white on this kind of chrome trim here, but now you can see it looks beautiful once again. And I'm going to show you some clips of kind of before and after of when I was kind of coloring in the chrome once more. And this grill had just the whole center part was turning white. I didn't even touch it all that much, but it was just kind of completely faded. But now it's back to being just fully chrome. I was really shocked at how good these paint markers actually were. And of course, for this one, I did take off the hardtop, as you see here. And then I actually popped out the windshield glass, because I didn't want to get any of the chrome stuff on the windshield. And if you happen to get like a tiny spot of it somewhere, that's not really a big deal, because you could use an Expo marker like one of these and then wait until it dries. Just kind of dab the area that you don't want the chrome on with the Expo marker, get a clean cloth, wipe it away, and then it worked out perfectly. I did test it out with the tonneau cover back here. I just put a tiny little dot, and then I just let it dry, and then I got the Expo marker, dotted it up, wiped it away, and you can't even tell that I, accidentally got, or not accidentally, that I put some chrome there to kind of test it out to see if I could remove it in kind of a timely manner. So yeah, there's that car. That turned out to be really good. And this, I literally got this car for like $2, so I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. And yeah, it does still have some issues. Like this hardtop was repainted a couple times, and it has that weird kind of crease or hole there. That came with that. I did not put that there. There's a couple, paint chips that I had to touch up, but The chrome just looks fantastic now. And yeah, there is kind of a rougher area here, but from a distance, you really cannot tell. I'm just really happy that I found these markers, that they work the way that they do. And then let's say that, one of your mirror stickers on one of your models falls off, which a lot of these older Maestos are kind of notorious for either falling off or just, fading away over time. Well, the chrome markers can repair that too. You can see right here, that's done with the chrome marker, and there is a mirror finish. I can wave my finger and you can see the body of the car right there. It looks like the mirror sticker now. In fact, this one, after the sticker came off, I just took a silver Sharpie and I kind of, quickly colored it in. It didn't look that great, but then when I used the chrome marker, it worked out perfectly. I'm just really happy with the results of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and you'll see some clips of kind of the before and after of this Thunderbird as I repaired it. All right, and as you can see here, the windshield is pretty much white because the chrome faded off and I pretty much just colored it in with silver Sharpie. Same thing with the grille here. It is a bit hard to tell in this lighting, but you can tell kind of in the center there that it's a little bit less shiny than the rest of the grille. So I was able to use, and there's a better shot of that there, but I was able to use these chrome markers to kind of fix these problems. And I did pop out the actual windshield as you see here. There's how the chrome should look, kind of on the inside portion there. And then as you can see for the outside trim, it's pretty much faded to like a bright kind of silverish white because I did color it in with a Sharpie to make it kind of look slightly better. And here it is after a couple coats of the chrome marker, and you can tell it pretty much matches the inside part at this point. So I was really happy with how that actually turned out. And then a few days later, the chrome on here looks perfect. I would definitely let the chrome kind of dry and cure for a day or two before you handle the model. So for this one, I kind of let it sit for almost 24 hours just on my desk here. And then once it was all, done, I put it back into storage, and then I took it out again for this video. And we're almost 2 weeks out from when I, re-chromed it, and it still looks perfect. This should last for quite some time, but you may have to touch up some areas here and there if you see any areas that you might have missed, or if the chrome once again fades. But I don't think it'll fade with these markers. I've seen the reviews on Amazon, and a lot of people really seem to like these for what they do and what they are and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess do I shouldn't say a live demonstration, but I'm gonna do it kind of right here, right now for this Mini. As you can see, that's completely white up there. The surrounding area of the headlights should be chrome, but as you can see, it faded to white, completely white. Same thing with this part here. The grills are still okay, but you see right here, look at that. Almost looks like it peeled off like paint. This is how it should be where my fingernail's touching, and then up there is how it faded to, just completely white. So, and same thing with these door handles here. I ended up coloring those in with silver Sharpie sometime in the past. And back here you can see for this rear hatchback kind of grab handle, all that chrome is coming off too. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can repair this. And this model is from 2004, and it was played with a fair bit. If this were just sitting up on a shelf for the past, 18 years, I would say the chrome fade would definitely not be as extreme. This would probably all still be back on here. I was constantly opening and closing this hatch back in the day. And the door handles would probably still look decent maybe, but the headlights, I would say, you probably would still see this chrome fade. Maybe not to the extreme point of where there's nothing left, but you would still see some level of, fade on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the back part here. So let's open up the markers and I'll show you kind of how they look. And there are instructions for these. When you first get these markers, they will be shrink wrapped. So you gotta take off the shrink wrap. And then once you do that, and here is the larger marker right here. Once you do that, when you open them for the first time, you take off the lid and then you kind of push down on a piece of paper. I would have a couple pieces of paper in case the ink kind of bleeds through. And then you wait until the tip turns silver. And then you can use the marker. And then for future uses, you just gotta shake it up like that, just a few times. And then you can open up the cap and then do whatever kind of chrome work you need to do. So here's the other two. Also, you have the kind of the fat tip, the finer tip, and the super fine tip, I guess I should say. And they even have kind of pictures of what steps you're taking to use the markers on the side there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna chrome the rear hatch on here. Now for this particular car, I am gonna use one of the finer tips. This one right here. This isn't the really super, this isn't the extremely fine tip. That one's right here. This one's kind of in the middle. If I can hold it in front of the... So yeah, this one's kind of in the middle, as you see here. It's not like extremely thin to like a ballpoint pen thinness, but it's sort of in the middle. I would say this is kind of the size of maybe like a standard like Sharpie marker in terms of its like tip. So I'm gonna shake that up, like so. I guess you can kind of hear it on the slight bit. We do have that dehumidifier going on in the background. And then you just kind of go across like that. And you can always kind of do some cleanup later with the extra fine tip if like you missed an area or something like that. But this should be, I guess, a pretty good start for this piece here. Now again, it will not look perfect when you do these kind of chrome touch-up jobs. Like as you can see here, it is going to be a little bit rough in some areas, almost like brush strokes, but I think anything is better than just completely faded away chrome, for sure. And you could always let something like this dry, even from this angle. Like from a far distance, you really can't tell all that much that it was, you know, kind of redone, I suppose. But there is some, yeah, underneath I got to get another, I guess, a little bit down there. So just carefully trace along the bottom like that. And then we'll kind of let this dry. There's a better shot of it there. Yeah, there are some like rough areas, and I kind of did that quickly. I probably could have done it a little bit slower. I mean, it just looks somewhat, you know, smoother, somewhat better. But eventually this will dry and look like this chrome row down here, where that kind of little tiny like reverse light is. It'll look like it was never, you know, faded to begin with. And then you do have these lights up here, like these. They'll also need some love with the chrome pen, so we'll do one of those next. So here's a before of this headlight. And then here it is after I use the chrome marker. Looks very good. There is kind of that top portion there right above that peg that I didn't quite do, but I can always go back and touch that up. But for right now, especially from a distance, you can tell the difference already between this side and this side. You know, totally faded white, and then you have the chrome up on there. And again, you will have to kind of go back and touch up. If you do kind of one go around, I would definitely go back and do either a second coat or just touch up some areas from the first coat. All right, now both sides are done. Looks great. Again, it won't look perfect, but it's better than just having faded kind of white where the chrome should be. And you can really kind of see it in like shadows a little bit better too. Just how much it matches the rest of the chrome. Because before it was completely white, almost like kind of a translucent white. Because like that's how the plastic is colored before they put on the chrome finish. But now that the chrome finish has been repaired, it looks just great. And the last thing on this car to repair are the door handles, which aren't too terrible looking because I think use a silver Sharpie like years ago to touch it up, but now we're gonna give it the chrome treatment that it should have. So here's how this door handle looks now before the chrome goes on there. And then after. Not a huge difference because I think the silver Sharpie kind of threw it off a little bit, but it looks fantastic. And here's that grab handle now that the chrome is all finished. Looks pretty good. Then you have the door handles and the headlight bezels. They look fantastic. Now occasionally you may get kind of like a rougher finish like you see here for this grab handle. You can always fix that later by adding another coat or just kind of smoothing it down or sanding it down a little bit and then adding like a new coat. But I think it's definitely an improvement from before where you had, you know, just the faded white and like kind of the remaining chrome sort of left over and kind of spotty like areas of this piece. And I think the headlights turned out the best. You can even tell from a distance and everything. Like this, you used to be able to see that white from far away, but now you absolutely can't because the chrome has been touched up and repaired. So definitely, if you're looking to kind of do some minor repairs to the chrome on your die-cast models, I think markers like these are definitely a good way to do that. Again, you're not going to have perfection, but if you want it to just look better than it already does, these are definitely a good way to do that. I'm sure there's like, spray cans of chrome paint and stuff like that. If you're looking for kind of major, larger areas, then these probably wouldn't be a good idea for that. But if you're looking for kind of smaller areas, minor touch-ups and other stuff like that, these are perfect for that job, especially for 1/18th and 1/24th scale cars. And they do, of course, work well for, smaller scale cars too, like this Ford Focus. The wheels just look fantastic. This was done by these markers. It wasn't a factory job or anything. It's just really cool that, these are out there and it can do such repairs that you normally probably wouldn't be able to do with, just a regular marker or like a regular Sharpie or anything. So that was just kind of a quick video and demonstration showing off how these chrome markers work and how they can repair models in your collection that have chrome fade or some kind of chrome damage. So I hope this was a helpful video, and feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on it. Thanks for watching.